Alright, so welcome back to a series of Wonders events. I'm your humble DM Robin. Joining us today with Stefan, our human sorcerer Rivani, Kat, play as Tolly, our Wood Elf Rogue, and Justin, play as Sentinel, our Warforge, fighter. And last week, the week before last, we kind of did a proper send-off to one of our players, Nathan, who played as Viking, the Asmire Paladin, and after a rigorous trial, he eventually ascended to accept his lineage and took on the place as the new God of Death, the newborn God of Death. Yeah. However, as he was doing that, his teammates were actually having a really good time of their life. For the first time in a long time, they don't need to hack down or slash down any kind of monsters. They just need to, help people rebuild the city. And as well as, gathering resources to further support Rivani's research on, the new project she's been working on. And yeah, you guys were, like I said, you guys were on a mission, on a job hunt, more precisely.
I believe we were on our way to try and meet the king.
Yes. Not the king to be precise, more like the someone who issued like a mission, kind of like offering a job.
A mission from the king?
Yeah. No. From the royalty, yes, but
from royalty, yeah.
Yes, not necessarily from the king, but yeah. According to Vor,
I thought for sure the king was involved somewhere in there, but it's been 2 weeks, so maybe I'm just remembering that wrong.
Vor said the king issued out a series of kind of jobs for the adventurers to go on and finish them, because the city is in urgent need for reconstruction, and also the research of the cultists hasn't been thorough yet. They are afraid that, this is the part you will get the explanation later, but the jobs was there for further investigation and all that, and those are issued by the king, by Sovereign Solaris, yes, but not necessarily he is the one that is going to hand out on the street, handing out jobs and you want this. No, it's probably someone else who will take care of it.
I remember now.
Yes. And Vor kind of suggests you guys to go there and finish the research.
To get the
reward
money.
And then help further your research.
Yeah,
and before you guys leave, yours kind of stood up to you guys and just kind of say, "Hey, I know this whole job hunting is jolly and whatever, and I know you guys are helping the city and whatnot, but I think it's time for us to part ways, at least for a little while. I think I still got some jobs I need to attend to. More like a hunt for a sword, if you know what I mean. And yes, so some bastard locked my sword down there, and ouch. I was talking to these kind of wizards in Arcadia, and they kind of point me to a hopeful, direction. Let's just put it that way. So I'll go search for that. And
it
was
good
luck.
It was definitely someone else.
Yes, definitely someone else. Yes. So you guys, good luck.
Thank you. You too. And if you're ever back in town, you look us up, okay? Because I know I'll be here.
Definitely. And he nods, and to you all,
and I'll be here too.
Yeah. Just be on his way. Yeah. All right. So, you guys, like I said before last session, you travel through Planar Observatory as well as the Citadel, and eventually, you guys enter Silver Council. This is about the first time you guys traverse through, the Silver Council, and it is something else. Like when you enter, you guys found like the whole building structures are built for nice, quiet, and peaceful surroundings. And unlike the common ground, most of the streets are filled with like extruding houses. People who build houses on a whim, and there's no specific style for any sort of housing. This area looks like much of a higher, taste kind of area. The houses are in a similar size. Just imagine the suburban area, when people are building nice tall houses, and like a small garden and a small fortress around themselves, and yeah, so sort of like that. So it's a closed community, if you would say that, if you would describe that. And you guys kind of walk around. This place is extremely quiet, like I said before, and passing through the street. The street is so well organized. It is like a checkerboard. You can easily find where you're heading to, and according to Vor's instruction, it is in the centerpiece of the Silver Council area.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do we still have Ash with us, or did we resolve that?
Ash is still with you. Like I said, he was taking you guys to where he stashes,
okay, good
stuff.
That's why
And it actually aligns. It actually aligns with your direction, which you guys are heading to.
How convenient.
Yeah. Ash kind of sensed the kind of surprised judgment. He turned around and said, "So what? No one would expect stuff to be hid in this area. I mean, it's the perfect place. You just need to avoid the guards and the dogs."
It's heavily fortified, Ash.
Yeah, sort of.
No, I'm impressed. I'm a little bit concerned, but mostly impressed.
Well, there are a few abandoned, destroyed to be more precise, houses when, the monsters entered. So yeah, I found one, just hide my stash there, and everything's fine.
Yeah, good logic.
Yeah. He kind of let you guys a little bit deviate from the town center, from the center you guys are going in, and kind of leads you down to a smaller track, and eventually ends up you guys standing in front of a kind of a half broken houses. The mansion, the half broken mansion is kind of you can judge by the broken stones how the carvings on them, and you can anticipate that it was back in its day, it's full of glory and all that. However, you think that the monsters who landed here doesn't really care for antiquity or for any kind of tradition or whatever. So yeah, it kind of rammed the whole building down, and yeah. So you're now facing a ruin. Yeah. And Ash just looks around. Yeah, Ash just take a look around first, carefully, and he's like,
wonder whose house this used to be.
Yeah, this was. I don't know. There's so many nobles in this area. If you ask me, they're all piece of shit. But yeah, it provides me a really good place to hide stuff, so I wouldn't complain that much. Yep. But they're still piece of shit. Okay. He kind of waves for you guys to stop. So stay back. I will just check first. You never know what's inside. What's still inside the ruins. So yeah.
All right.
He kind of looks around, and kind of looks down into the broken stone and structure, and then kind of wave you guys over. There's no guards from what he looks around, so yeah. From the surrounding of the building, there's no guards. Yeah, and he kind of waves you guys over and leads you guys to a kind of a it's quite interesting. There's actually a hole formed by broken pillars, as well as just providing a hinge to support the broken stone and kind of form a small but steady hole. And he just walks in. Yeah, it's like, what are you guys waiting for?
Geronimo.
Just okay.
Mm.
Yeah. He's gonna lead the way. Yeah. The place is not that small actually, but you do have to bend over, in order to cross through the hallway. And eventually, you guys kind of walk for about 5 minutes, and more like bend over and walk. And eventually, you guys find an opening and enter. The mansion itself, its interior somehow is maintained. That this part of the hall, maybe it's because of the beams that supports it. It kind of stay intact for a while. So you guys could finally stretch up and stand up tall. And you look around. You see kind of a small there's several rooms on the far end. So on your left side, there's two individual rooms. One of them, the door is already broken, and you can see it's crushed by a huge boulder when you look inside. However, on the second room, it is actually intact, and that's on your left side. And then on your right side, there's only long hallway that leads towards another section. And Ash just points you guys to the second room and says, "This is it. This is the room." Yeah.
Pretty good. You'd know someone was coming ages before they ever got to you.
Yeah, definitely. So that's why I picked the room.
I like it.
Yeah, and he starts to open up and the door. You can see he carefully put his hands on the wooden, structure, and brings out a thief's tool and carefully unlock it. He's like, "So when I first entered the building, this room is, protected by some traps and stuff. Yeah, that's when I know it's got to be something valuable in here. And they probably took everything, so yeah, I just used this later on."
The rich tend to run with anything that they can carry.
Yeah, so it's.
I guess that does make sense if this was used to be a big mansion.
Yeah, this is sort of like a small stash house, or I wouldn't call it a vault. It's not that heavy, heavily guarded, but yeah. And as he's doing that, he was like, "That's weird," and he take a step back.
Yeah. I'm ready to stab anything that comes through.
Yeah. He looks at it and says, "Probably nothing, but I think someone unlocked it before me."
Oh, great. Awesome.
Oh.
Huzzah. Did you have anything in there important to you?
You think someone else found it?
This is one of my stash house. Well, all the magical stuff are here. He is gonna gently push open the door. Inside, there's it's not a huge loot like one would normally expect. There are several crates on the floor, but yeah, most of them looks like they're empty. They're being emptied, and on one of the a larger crate, and someone is actually sitting on top of it. He's have a tiny cup of tea on his hand and a plate underneath. He's like taking a sip. Oh, just as I expected. What took you guys so long? And
The
Tully,
city falling?
Yeah.
You know.
Tully, when you look up, it is the bartender from the Thieves Guild that you before you met. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
And ooh, we got friends, we got companies. And
Well, never travel alone.
Oh, hello there, mister. I don't think I've seen you around before. I don't think I've met you
And you
before.
won't see them again.
I'm just an ordinary bartender. And I'm here because one of the contract has not been fulfilled yet.
What can I say? I was rather busy.
Looking for something?
Less looking for something and more just straight up not dying. Lux does not like me.
The city has its glory. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Pause a second. Contracts, you said?
I had a bad
yes.
day.
Yes, this lovely lady signed a contract in order to track down this kid, and he pointed at Ash and continued saying, well, so we signed a little jolly contract, and in order to fulfill it, you'll need to do something for us. And though this contract didn't really have a due date or deadline, well, I'm obligated to come here and remind her what are the consequences that if she don't go through with it.
I mean, I'll be honest, I thought I was gonna die before this thing was gonna get filled. It's amazing it's still in operation.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Hold on a minute. Is that what you were? Is that what? Tally,
Yeah,
is that
you
what you were
remember the whole
doing?
like the riot and everything? It just like it was a bad day.
Oh yeah, I remember that. But I guess that explains what you were doing. But why didn't you say anything before?
I honestly didn't think it was relevant. It was so very much the end of important things.
Well, okay, that's a good point, given what happened. But
Yeah.
still,
Okay. He looks through you guys as you guys are, having a heated conversation between yourself, and he was like, "Ooh, interesting." And he
What?
points at Sentinel, on the back.
Oh, I was like, okay, that's basically like Sentinel's just there
Yeah.
looking like left and right. Doesn't speak much, and he doesn't know what is really happening.
Okay.
Although he's just ready to, if anything happens, he's
Yeah.
just gonna draw his sword.
Yeah. The bartender actually walks towards Sentinel, ignoring you two completely, and was like, "How is this possible?" And he kind of tries to put his hand onto you, Sentinel. At
I
least on
grab
your
his
shoulder.
hand. I grab his hand before he touches me.
Ooh.
Nice.
So he's not just for show. Interesting. You know what?
No,
you
not
know what,
especially.
Missy? If you hand this over to us, your contract will be fulfilled. No other bargain. I can't just sign off the contract right now.
No.
Yeah. Oh, come on. It's just a thing. This whole golem,
No.
it's just a thing.
It's my friend, and the fact that you show so much interest in it over what, a tiny trinket? No.
Well, if you ever change your mind, though.
Also, I'm pretty sure Sentinel would disagree on the whole not being a person thing. So maybe not call him a thing again? Possibly?
I don't know. I don't speak for Sentinel. This is DM talking. I don't speak for Sentinel, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Sentinel doesn't like when you mention like don't call him a thing again. He doesn't really react
Mm-hmm.
because to him he is just a soldier for I guess the king.
A god's
and
weapon.
yeah, he's just a weapon, so he doesn't really care.
Mm-hmm.
So he just stands still, let it
Mm-hmm.
like, and then he just while holding his hand, he just just throws it back at him, like just take it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
The bartender kind of scratches his head and looks at Talia and said, all right. Well, let's go back to business. So, you
There
found the
was-
kid.
Yes,
on
there
your
was
own.
nothing in the contract stopping me from getting there as well.
True, but
I
That
haven't
is
had time to
actually
scope
true.
the place.
that is
It's-
actually true.
Okay.
I think we found a loophole in the contract.
Hi there.
And he like run through his pockets and then pulls out a tiny pendant of a raven's looking, and he just wave it in his hand and just clutches it. Well, there's also nothing in the contract that forbids me for taking this away from you, because this is all,
Business.
yeah, business.
That is personal. You don't want to take that from me.
Yeah. I have no use for it. But like I said, since there's a loophole in the contract, you found this kid solely on your own. But I'm still the one having the pendant, which I have absolutely no use for it. How about we say, let's renew our contract?
What do you want?
The bargain is still the same. You go to this councilman's, house, steal something for us. In return, you get this back. And you can forget trying to kill me and take it, because... And he wave his hand, and you can see that the figure of the pendant is now gone. It's like, it's merely
I
just an
expected
illusion.
as much. Honestly, I kind of thought you were an illusion. I'll need time. I need time to scope the place out, see what the guards are like. Jeez.
Which I believe you got plenty. Especially after we heard about your heroic action, in saving the city and all that. I trust you got plenty of ways to get into the councilman's house without raising any alert, which is much more to say for us. Yeah.
That was the intent for my downtime now, but you've rather, well...
Yeah. And luckily
Now I'm angry.
for you, and he pulls out a lot of, papers from his pouch and hand them over to you. And you can see those are, not bounty to be precise, but more like job alert boards, like Eastern Side Farm needs to, needs
What is
something.
this?
Yeah. And then amongst them, you see one of the piece that specifically said it's issued by the chief councilman, and it's about some kind of luring menace that resides in his like basement, sort of like a basement.
Wow.
Yes.
Isn't that just
Question.
neat?
How do you have those?
Well, they just send them out on the street in the city center. Those
public
are the
property.
job alerts. Yes. And Chief Councilman Tyron Ironforge would very much like someone to help him clear out, something that lures inside his vault. Yeah.
Of course. Our duty to help.
Yeah, just to refresh your memory and also letting
Yeah.
Justin know what happens.
It's gonna
Tyron
be good.
Ironforge is one of the dwarves that controls, the Ironforge clan, which is basically a
Alright.
mob inside the city, and
They're not happy with us.
So we
yeah,
have a dwarven mafia.
yes,
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
yes, you encounter them. They kind of killed one of his minions. Well,
Yep.
yeah,
I'm pretty
elite
sure his head's
troops,
still in the bag of
yes.
holding.
Yes.
Ah,
The cleric,
yikes.
yes, his head is still in the bag.
Whoops.
Yes, and you
Can't,
guys.
can't they just forget about it? All right, I'll just be I'll be quiet now.
Yeah. And Rivani was near death when she first encountered Tyron and face to face. Yeah, so they are off to a really really bad start.
I sort of pinched the bridge of my nose, or my... Oh, right, that guy.
Yeah. You see why I had no problems with stealing from him. But taking this job. Oh, jeez, they might just straight up turn us away. This is going to be really interesting.
Um.
Well, hold
What do you
on.
mean? Hold on a second. What do you mean he will straight up turn you guys away? You guys are the hero of the city, right?
Oh, yes, and I'm
Well-
going to lean on that angle very, very much. Oh,
Well, hang on. He's not the only one like who's sent a bounty out. We've got I'm sure we've got I mean we've got I mean there's I mean I'm sure we've got plenty of bounties to choose from, surely.
there are, but this one gives me the perfect opportunity to sneak in, steal something, and leave without anything being amiss or it pointing directly to me.
Also true.
Well, this is just one way to get you guys in. If, from what
It's
I
the
heard,
fastest way in.
yeah, if from what I heard, you guys have some disagreement with, well, unpleasant passing with this chief councilman. Maybe you can think of other way to get in. This is just one ticket to get you guys in. Not necessarily all of them. You need to take all of them. You can try your own way, as long as you get the job done. I don't really care about the process. Well, so if we're done here, and
other question.
go ahead.
You mentioned the original. You mentioned that you originally wanted her to get Ash for you.
No, other way around. I had requested them to find Ash. I had to still steal the
I
egg.
have no need for the kid.
Slippery kid.
Oh, okay.
Oh, by the way,
Oh,
kid.
so-
And the bartender turned towards Ash, who was hiding behind you guys the whole time.
Yeah,
Until
I'm
now.
moving to block.
Yeah.
As
Remember that you need to turn in your share, or else you know the deal. Yeah. Ash just kind of clutched his mouth and not saying a word. And yeah, I guess you received the message. The bartender just said, and then he turns around to you guys and kind of do a slight bow and just like, well, if that's all your questions, well, that's it for me. Yeah. Just remember, contract fulfilled, and oh right, speaking of contract, he pulls out the contract and kind of redacts it, and then hands his pen to the downer side and just said, just do a re-signing and we're good.
Other question.
Go
while
ahead.
Ravani's asking questions, Tally's methodically checking this.
Okay,
Uh,
go ahead.
this,
Question first.
this is just applying to this is just applying to my friend Tally here, right?
Well,
All this.
no, she's the only one that's been binded by this contract.
Right. Okay. Just.
No, I would never sign you guys across. No.
Right. Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah, I know you one. Just
It's good to
clearing
check.
that up.
Yeah. And
Right.
All right.
Phew.
As Tolly is checking thoroughly through the contract, you don't see anything like really specific. He just redacts the part that they find Ash for you, and in return, you help them do that, and into
okay.
they return the pendant towards you, and in return, you help them to search the councilman's house, find this specific boxes they really want.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So
That's
there's no
most of the
trips. There's
yeah,
nothing
there's
that it.
no tricks in the contract, at least from what you can tell. You can
Okay.
also roll for another investigation check to do a thorough check towards it.
Yeah. I'm paranoid.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
Oh, it's gonna be real bad.
Oh.
No, it's not great.
Yeah, you get a sense of feeling that
Right. Then I sign it, and I sign it as me.
yeah, probably it's the same because it doesn't look that much of a problem.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you signed it. All right, hand it over to the bartender.
Yeah.
The bartender.
No
took
hiding
it.
my name now, I guess.
Yeah. Ooh, interesting. And you take a closer look at your signature and the handwritings.
When I say that pendant is mine, it's mine.
Yeah, well, it will be yours
Mhm.
when the locker box is ours.
Okay.
He kind of put the scroll back in, and then just take his leave. Yeah. Before he left, he walked past through Sentinel, and it's like, if you're ever in the market, for this big guy, yeah, you let me know.
Never.
Never say never. And he just walks out. Yeah.
Yeah, Sentinel just tilts his head towards that, like, what?
Yeah.
He's not too sure that he's quite a valuable prospect to actually,
Yeah.
It's just a normal day for him.
Just another normal day for
Just another day.
Mhm.
I'm escorting people. Just another day.
Alright. Ash just looks at all of you and said, alright, so I guess I need a better place now.
Yeah, we need to relocate you somewhere
You
safe.
found us.
Yep,
Yeah.
that was a thing.
What did you sign with him?
Well, every thief, every rogue went in the city, well, they got their eyes on them. And if you want to work in the city, if you want to do your job in the city, you'll need to sign in, or else they'll block every chance you have into stealing, or they'll rat you out to someone with authority. Simply put, they'll make your life really miserable if you want to do the living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're the only
So
guild in this
it's-
city then.
So it's
They
some kind
are.
of thieving monopoly?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can call
guess
it
so.
that.
I think we need to introduce some competition.
What did you guys get yourself into?
Oh, bad shit, man.
Ash just looks up and looks at you and is like, so you have some ideas? When you say competition,
Yeah, I dare say we start a guild for independence. People that don't want to sign on but still want to work.
you're a really weird royalty, you know that? You are
I was
a really
raised
weird
a
one.
thief, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, Ash just take a really weird look at you, and it's like, all right, I guess that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Wait.
just be careful. They have eyes and ears and everywhere.
Oh, I know.
Wait,
I'm not
but-
hiding.
Wait, if there's a guild for people who don't want to sign on to the guild,
Mhm.
doesn't that mean wouldn't they be technically still signed on to a guild?
It's
the
more of
logic.
yeah, it's more of an if they don't want to
Wait.
sign up to that guild, they still get the protection, but there's no obligation like that one. It's kind of.
It's a
what to-
charity.
I mean, yeah.
Yes.
It's,
Okay, that checks out, I guess. I think.
it's important. Crime is
Slightly
important in any city.
safer mafia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A safer
I-
mafia.
Can I roll for insight to see if that checks out?
Sure.
slightly
Actually,
safer
it's
mafia.
not insight. It's more like a
Oh.
intelligence
His-
check
yeah,
to see
his-
if the
Oh, okay.
logic checks out.
If the logistics check out,
Yes.
Oh, okay.
we'll be a mafia, but we won't do the
That
whole thing. If you
totally
mess
works.
up, we'll kill you.
Yes. That's how
Oh, great.
charity works, in your opinion. That's how charity works. So yeah.
You know,
that's-
Sentinel
that's-
doesn't care.
I mean, I trust you, so
Yeah.
okay.
I'm royalty. I have money now.
Sentinel doesn't really understand, but
Yeah, he doesn't know how these things work. He trusts that these people are experts.
Yes, definitely.
alright.
Uh,
I was just like, if you say so, I think that works.
Listen,
Well,
it needs much more planning, and I definitely need people that know what they're doing. But introducing competition would be brilliant.
I have, made some associates in the
Yeah.
city. So
There's got to be
they're-
others
they're
that
kids.
dislike this model.
Yeah, they're kids. They also bind it to the contract. So
Oh my god. Am I starting an orphanage? Is this what I'm doing?
yeah, another orphanage. Yes.
God.
Yeah, he was like, maybe they can help. I don't know.
Yes.
I,
No,
I mean,
get them, talk to them. Find anyone that dissents this group.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can't get enough people behind us.
All right. So
And we need to move you. We definitely need to move you.
yeah, and Ash just
Yeah.
collects the stuff that he hides in the crate. He was like, I know this is a little bit on the paranoid side, but yeah, I'm always a little bit concerned. So the crate is just for show on the surface. Yeah, and he kind of pulls out. He kind of walks towards the corner of the stone wall and pulls out a brick underneath it, and then as he pulls out, he put his hand inside and took out a small pouch and another and another. So in total, he took out about 10 of those pouches, and it's like, so, and then he just put all of them in his backpack, and it's like, well,
You good
That's
carrying
it.
all those?
yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well done.
Judging by the size of the pouches, you get the feeling like these are either really rare, because those are tiny pouches. So
I'm
these
assuming
are-
gems.
Yeah, either rare gems or something of unique value. Yeah. He just puts all of them in his backpack and he says, "Well, let's get
Oh.
going."
yeah,
By the way,
you're
where
pretty
did
good to have. You're pretty good to have gone all this stuff on your own.
Well, what else can I do? I mean, this was one of my safest hideout, and they spotted this. So,
I'm wondering if they didn't sneak something into your contract to tag you.
well, you have to sign again if you want to alter it. That is why he asked you to, sign again.
Yeah. But
Well-
I feel like they're tracking you somehow, and oh, jeez.
Yeah, the contract
like it.
doesn't really track you. More like, well, if you do something, it will alert the others. That's the thing. It'll be like, oh, you are trying to operate in certain areas, and then they'll be like, they will send out the troops to find you. Yeah.
Which is useful at the end of a job, but still, their uncanny ability to find you wherever you are is upsetting.
Yeah. So, really need to find a new hideout.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all right. So where are we going next? It just
Well, we
looks
have a
like
job now. We're employed folk.
Okay.
Well-
I guess so.
Well, technically the two of you are employed.
Right,
I mean,
yes, I wouldn't want to drag you into anything, Ravani. If you'd rather take another, and I'm just like pulling out all the scrolls, if you'd rather take one of these, and you and Sentinel can go and have a
Yes.
lovely day,
yeah, there's.
Ash and I will be back later.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I mean, it's. I mean, on any other day, I would be more than happy to help, but well, it's just I'm not really. I don't think I'm really cut out to be part of your line of work.
Well, I think you are, but I also don't want to
Yeah.
put you in that harm's way. You had a bad run-in with the Iron Forged, and I cannot guarantee I
Yeah.
won't just sock them in the face.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway, looks like I have a bunch of scrolls to look through once we get outside.
Mm-hmm.
So
let's go find somewhere nice.
sure, let's start with that.
All right, you guys walk out of the half-broken mansion, and find a nice spot to sit, and kind of looks at under the sun. It's about 8 or 9 in the morning, so yeah, the sun is already out, and it's a bright day, so you guys can clearly see the contract. So Ravani, you see a lot of normal contracts, the ones you've done over the week, but still a lot more to be done. So helping the farmers to farm the land, helping the guilded members, to rebuild their merchants guild and all that. And roll me a 1d6.
Okay.
Alright.
Hmm.
Amongst them, you only find one thing that's kind of caught your eyes. It's a contract issued by a wizard named Gus, and which, just by judging the name, it's probably one of your friends, the one that offers you the potion in Arcadia, telling you guys what you can do to help Lavinia and her illness before. Gus
yes,
kind of, there's a signing underneath, and it says an urgent need for matters that only spellcasters can help with, and there's a specific details underneath telling you it's for a familiar that ran out of the control, and yeah, he wants whoever took on this contract to help find it and retrieve it.
Oh, I recognize this name. This is from that guy who gave me that potion to help with the Lavinia.
Yeah.
Looks like they're having trouble with a familiar that got loose.
Yes.
That sounds excellent, and I'm indebted to him. If you would like to take that one, by all means.
Yeah, no problem. I don't suppose you want to come along for the ride, Sentinel?
He just nods and follows.
Yeah. He's just being the silent type.
Yeah.
All right.
Works for me.
Right. So let me just, as a DM, I just want to understand. So Ash and Tully are going on with the councilman
we're doing
mission. Yes. And Ravani and Sentinel are going on the familiar hunt. Yes.
I do. Do we have that? We still have those paired mirror things.
Yeah,
The
the bell.
Eye of
I
the
have
Prometheus. Yes.
Yeah, because I never gave mine back, and I'm assuming we put Vikings in the bag.
Yeah,
of
he's
holding.
in the back. He is in the bag of holding. So he specifically told me that.
Yeah. Before we sort of part ways, I do sort of root in the bag of holding a little bit to make sure that the other eye is still there. So
Yes, it is.
and I'll sort of let Tally know that. But if you ever run into any trouble, don't hesitate to to use the eye if you need to.
And same goes for you. Remember the last time we encountered a familiar that went wrong? It went very wrong.
Ugh, don't remind me.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So.
Well, good luck.
Party. You too.
All right. So, let's do Ruveni and Sentinel first. So you guys follow the instruction. They all the job lists are all issued inside Silver Council. Even though the Gus is the one who puts out the job hunt, and you guys found the contractor who points you guys to the right direction, because you guys will have to sign like a board saying, oh, I took on this job. So they are posting a stand, and you guys go over and talk to the guys in the counter, and then you make sure that you guys are the one who's currently on this job. Yeah. So once you're done and you guys took on the job, the front desk kind of points you and says, so this Gus wizard, he's got his familiar lost in the vicinity around here. So he points at the large west wing of the Silver Council and says, you guys got, well, some sort of access to the boats that are, the ships that are on the, the airships that are on the docks. And you guys can go search there, that's part of where it was sighted. By the way, the familiar looks like ad hoc sometimes. Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes?
Yes, that's the weird part. It is said to have a really fluid nature, if you would call it. Sometimes it's a hawk, sometimes it looks like an eagle, sometimes it's more prone to bird shapes. I don't really know why, and apparently it's not under anyone's control. It hasn't done any harms yet, but who knows? So yeah, just go to the dockside and just request to go on board and do a little bit of search, I guess.
Sure. Is there anything we can show them to?
Yes. He pulls out the job list that kind of address that what you guys are on, and when you touch it, it kind of has a flicker of kind of small enchanted aura, and he said just show this to them and they'll let you do that.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, sorry. How should I put this? There has been about 3 groups that's been on the search, and nothing really pans out. So just let us know, because when you can't finish a job, we will have to redact it, and we will have to let someone else take on the job for another try. And
3 groups for 1 familiar? That seems like quite a bit.
Yeah, it's quite weird. The weirdest part is no one on the airship claimed that they have anything lost or anyone getting maimed, or just it's like it's not doing anything. But
curiouser and curiouser.
All right. Well, if that's the case, you took the job. Now, next, and you see the front desk kind of waves for the others to come.
All right then. You're right then.
Okay.
Have a good day. And
yeah, good day. Yeah, and you guys go on for the air dock, the dock side, and try to find it. for Tully and Ash, you guys walk to the centerpiece, and there is only one guy that's standing right in front of the job post. This is a really exclusive area for nobles who issued out the job, and this butler-looking man just standing right in front of the job post and just like having a few guards surrounding him, and for anyone who tries to not stay in line and tries to go forward, and they'll be like, just please stay back in line, and if you get the job, then you'll be called forward to take the job. Yeah. So yeah, you kind of follow the line, and eventually after no one really argues with the guards, and from the looks of them, adventurers, they're not the like rule-abiding type, and from the fear in their eyes, the guards might have done something to the group that forces them to stay quiet and follow the rules.
I'm just watching them.
Yeah. So you eventually walk forward, and the butler just says, "So,
Good morning.
morning."
This one, please.
Okay. So you handed down the job, and he was like, "Okay. That's new. Someone finally took on this one."
Felt like a challenge.
Okay. If you're really up for a challenge, go for it. Just a reminder. There's a former group of 3 adventurers who went in, and they never really come out.
No, I
wonder what's
definitely
down
not.
there. Yeah. And
Something
yeah.
delightful.
Yeah. He just put you what name?
Thea.
Okay. He just writes Thea down and just put on the post. The post on the side is a wooden board. Once it's on, it just magically floats above it. And yeah. Alright, off you go.
Thank you.
Alright, so you took on the job from the butler, and then you go forward to where he points you towards. The city, the councilman's house is like the biggest one near the center of the whole Silver Council. Like the Thieves Guild, the guy from the bartender from the Thieves Guild said, the whole structure is made out of stone and carved out of marbles, and it's really high-end antiquity, and it's kind of got this dwarven style inside of it. You can see chiseled statues, and you can see like a carved out dwarven face of whoever that is. You really don't have recognition on what it is, but you do know this guy is
Wish I had a history lesson.
yes. Well, you can roll for a history check if you want.
Okay, Tally's like, the dwarves.
Yeah, it's just like wondering what it is and just looking at it. Yeah. So yeah.
And as she approaches the door, Tally's gonna bamf out Lexi, who's the dog.
All right. Lexi, for the first time. All right. Lexi is out and just kind of looking just really still, like not moving still.
Lexi, heal.
Yeah. All right. Lexi just heals. Yeah.
But just because let's be normal. Let's be normal.
Just do the exact order of what you issued, and before your hands can put on the doorknob and the ring, the door slides open, and inside you can see several guards that are inside, as well as the councilman. Tyron actually walks out, and he was like, You got a sneak peek of him in the party. He was like this really, kind of a slightly overweight dwarf. Well, noble dwarves tend to have this, large belly thing, and he unlike normal dwarfs, which you saw Hamura before, she, most of the time she dwells in hammering down some stuff and building something. So she always gets herself kind of a little bit oily and greasy. Taran is not like that. It's like a normal nobleman with a little bit poor taste. He looks at you and just like, oh, so you are the new one who takes on this job.
Good morning. Absolutely.
Okay, I hope you don't die that fast. I guess.
Oh, so do I.
We need to drag the last one out of the vault.
Say, did he have anything good on him?
No.
Damn.
Yeah. Alright.
If there are any that are left down there, do you mind if I have it?
By all means. Just don't take anything from the vault, from us.
Of course not.
You will notice that if that's from the vault. It always have a family crest on the chest. Yeah.
Marvelous.
Okay.
Any
guards?
advice or information that's come up from anything?
Don't die and get that thing out of my vault.
Okay.
Yeah. And he just wave at the guards in order to, lead you in, and he kind of just walks away. You can hear him mutter to himself, let's hope this one would survive at least longer. Yeah. Yeah. He just let you walk with the guards, and the guards just kind of took you down to the staircase. You passed through like kind of a family graveyard sort of thing. You can see several statues on the side. Most of them just say for example, Tiberius Ironforge, or just like some of his ancestors that are lying inside the graveyards. You can see some of them are like carved on the side saying mason, or saying carpenter, or the further the ancestor is, they are more like from a lower kind of statue of like status of life, and you can see how they gradually become where they are, and eventually it took you to the staircase that leads down towards the vault. The shelter is like the hall is like a kind of like a small dome that you can walk right in, and staircase just leads downwards. There are torches on each side, so you won't get you won't get lost in the dark. And he was like, "Oh, this is as far as I can take you." And he pulls out one of the torch and lights it up and hands it over towards you and Ash. It's like,
I take it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your guidance.
Yeah.
I hope
Good
to be
luck
seeing you again
down there.
soon. Ay,
That's exactly what the last group said. So, just words of advice.
Yeah.
He looks around, seeing no one's watching him, and just avoid the traps. There are several traps down there, and by the looks of it, one of them is actually killed by the traps. So, if I were you, just avoid, the coffins, the weird looking statues and all that.
Okay, so avoid everything. Understood. But thank you for the warning.
Yeah, sort of like that. And good luck. And he just walks back, leaving you towards the staircase down to the vault.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Just avoid everything ever, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, just avoid everything in your life, and you'll be
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah, you'll
But
be
no.
fine.
Yeah.
Tali's like, okay, Lexi, patrol, Ash, we're piggybacking, and she's gonna click her winged boots, and we're like, okay, now we're looking for all traps.
Yeah, nice. You walk downstairs, and Lexi is kind of, with his like far sight, is patrolling the whole area. Occasionally, kind of nudge your wing boots to the opposite direction in order to avoid certain, traps. And I would like you to roll for perception as well as investigation. Perception first, and then investigation. Let's see. Lexi. Ooh, nice. Ooh, that's really good.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Let's see. Lexi. You have the control of Lexi, right?
I think I have the sheet somewhere.
Yes.
Yep, I got it up.
Roll me for you. It's all seeing, so he can see everything. Roll me dexterity check for him. Okay. Lexi kind of moves around and occasionally kind of try to snuff something. With your perception, you do notice that when Lexi was walking towards one side of the statue kind of those are like there are there are a line of statues on each side of the wall. So the area you're walking in is about 20 feet wide, and the hall is more or less 12 feet high. So 20 feet of width and 12 feet of height. It is not that high for humans or other races, but for dwarves this is like a really big hallway. Yes. And as Lexi was walking on near the first statue was built about halfway of the height, so about 6 feet tall. And as Lexi walking through it, the statue they all have their weapons on their hand, and as you walk closer, the statue kind of just blades kind of try to slam down. And let's check how tall is Lexi.
I'm seeing my dog, so like
Yes.
2 feet tall, kind of.
Yeah, 2 feet. So yeah, as the axe is lowering down, you notice this, and you were trying to get over to Lexi. However, as the axe is pointing down, it's like landed about 3 feet or 2 feet high, and just stops there. And then just the axe just moves backwards.
Okay, so being shorter than a dwarf is a good thing here.
Apparently so.
Okay. Ash,
Being
can you
as
see what
short
we
as
can disarm
dwarves,
this?
probably.
Yeah.
Yes. And as you're flying, so I would assume you're about 5 feet above the ground, or maybe 2 feet above the ground. So as you're flying like forward, you notice that all the statues that you are about to trespass through are gonna raise their axe as well.
I'm looking for the triggers. I'm looking for what's setting these off.
Okay. So with that perception, you only see that Ash can actually roll for investigation as well. Okay. Ash looks around and says, "Don't fly too high. I think they got a thing on top," and he points towards one side of the wall. And as you fly past through, you can feel this slight kind of force. Just kind of tried to block you, and then just eventually gave up. King. So as you're flying, passing through, there's like, imagine there's a string of lines, or
laser
wooden
grip.
ropes, yes, that kind of on the top of the air, and once you fly over, you just bump into them, and
Alright, Ash, you've got better eyes than me. Guide me through.
okay. He walks through the hall, and just with his guidance, let's see. Nope, this one. All right.
And if he starts to get in trouble, I'm gonna take his damage.
Roll me Lexi's dexterity. Just roll for dex. Yes.
God, Lexi cannot roll today.
Let's see. Oh.
That's a 6. That's a 6.
Yeah,
it's really
that's
bad.
a 6. All right. Well, I know why, because it's all roll for DM rolls, so no one can see it but us. But okay, I will open up Lexi's. It should be able to for everyone to see. All players.
Yeah, I don't know where the settings are.
All right, it's okay. I will do that later. So for now, yeah, never whisper rolls. Okay. All right, but for now, you see, Lexi was trying to lunge forward towards Ash. Ash doesn't know what is happening, so he's like, "Ugh!" And he just got surprised, and both of them kind of tumbles to the side as they kind of rolled over. There is a brick underneath both of them, kind of slide open, and they both fall into the hole.
Nope, I'm after him.
Yeah. So you fly immediately down. Roll me a dexterity check. Well, actually, acrobatics to fly over and try to grab them.
Oh, that's much better.
You really can't roll. I don't know why.
It's
okay.
today.
It's okay. You still grab
that
onto.
plus 12 is doing good.
Yeah. You still grab onto Lexi's tail and just kind of pulls him in midair. Lexi, with his steel like jaw, kind of bites onto Ash's leg. Ash is like, "Ow, that hurts! That hurts!" And yeah, it's like Lexi just still don't waver, and you manage to pull them both out of the way and landed towards somewhere safe. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And,
okay.
Yeah, as you walk, kind of stand up, and Ash was like,
Ash, you alright?
"Oh, that hurts! Ow!"
Yeah.
And you look at
I'm
his
gonna
ankle.
I'm gonna pull us to an alcove and bind.
Yeah, it's a little bit broken. Yeah, it's a little bit swollen, but not entirely broken. Yes. So you kind of put it. Yeah. Bandage.
Because we've got my healer's kit. I'm gonna strap it so it's actually snapped.
Yeah, it's snapped. So yeah, Ash was like, "Whew, oh, that's quite scary."
Yes.
Whew. All right, I guess we still need to get moving.
We do.
All right.
You're doing very, very well. Okay.
Whew. And he walks on a limp, but still moving forward. And yeah, eventually you guys enter. You guys pass through the front hall and eventually enters the area. It is like several chamber mix into like a sort of like a maze-like structure, and you guess that there is a certain order because on several sides of the walls there are faces of doors that are carved inside the walls, and it's like a hexagon, and you can see that there are several ways that leads to different hallways. Yeah.
Okay.
So Ash just looks around. So
Gonna be fun remembering.
yeah. Which way should we go?
I don't know. But before we move on, okay, if the moment anything gets hairy, if you need to leave, you leave, okay? You take Lexi and you run.
Okay. Alright. I'll do that. I guess
The last thing I want is you dying down here, okay?
okay. I guess the dog can, go forward. You know, to investigate. I thought he's
Exactly.
like a alert dog or something.
He is.
Yeah.
All right, Lexi, which way now?
Lexi just kind of walks towards each of the hallway and just looks down. Uh, yeah, we will resolve what is happening right now, and switching back to Stefan. Well, sorry, to Rivani and Sentinel. Rivani,
Alright.
you walk down, kind of like took on the contract and then walked down to the dockside. There are several airships that are still on the dock, and you see sailors as well as captains. They're on the ships. Captains are barking orders, saying the last shipment should go somewhere, and the crew just kind of usher towards putting the shipments in the right places, tying up the ropes in order to make the ship steady and all that. Yeah. What would you
Yeah.
like to do?
Once we get there, I'll sort of head on over to the guy who looks like someone in charge, and I'll sort of greet him with like, excuse me, sir. Could I could I kindly have a moment of your time, please?
Oh, yes, yes. And the captain just looks around. He's a really chubby looking fella and with brown hairs and, you know, blue eyes. And he is probably a merchant more than a sailor, because you can see his posture is like just being friendly to others. Unlike any other captains you see around here, those are rough on the edges and all that. This one looks more gentle, in a sense. And he just looks like, anything I can help you, good sir? And
Yes. And I do show him like the sort of aura slash mark thing of our bounty, and I'll sort of yes. Well, my name's Rainey, and this is my associate here, Sentinel, and we have reason to believe that a wandering familiar is hanging around in these either in these docks or possibly in one of the airships
oh,
docked
that
here.
guy.
And
Yes, yes. Well, he's been here for quite a few days, and well, just mostly just wandering around. Sometimes scared the shit out of my sailors. Well, but not really doing well, anything really in a harm's way. It just kind of annoys the hell of my crew. And oh, by the way, where are my manners? Uh, he just looks at the crew and just try to gather them forward and introduce himself, saying, "Oh, Johnny, at your service." Just yeah, just looks,
pleased to meet you, Johnny.
yeah. Just like he nods and like said, just yeah. Well, I'm Jonathan, but most of my friends just call me Johnny. And he just looks around and saying, the crew here will know better than I did. For I was not most of the time on the ship, and you can just ask any of them, and they will tell you more details about it. Yeah.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
No problem. If there's anything else you need, just let me know, or let them know, and they'll tell me. All right.
Of course.
Yeah. You look around. There are like 5 or 6, sailors that are standing around, and most of them just kind of not sure what is happening. So it's like one of them just steps out and says, "Oh, so what can I help you with?"
Well, as I explained to Johnny here,
Mm-hmm.
well, me and my associate here, I've been given the task of retrieving a familiar that is supposedly wandering around this place.
Yes. That little fella is pretty annoying. usually roams around during when we are the busiest time, and normally you can find him near the post as well as the captain's chamber. Sometimes near the front of the ship, and roll me a perception check, Ruby, as well as Sentinel.
Alrighty.
Where is
That is that is a 14.
Perception, yes. Well, with that, Ruvani, you think you spotted a glimpse of something on top of the post, where the crew member would go up to the highest point and then just stand there to watch over. Yeah, Sentinel also spotted that. It's a tiny glimpse, on top. Yeah, what would you like to do?
As I sort of catch this little glimpse, I'll point towards the post in question to sort of ask it. I don't suppose you're referring to that post up there, are you?
Well, it probably is. You got a sharp eye, lady. And, yeah, that's probably it. And, that's kind of annoying, to be honest. I like birds, don't get me wrong. I got pets, I got companions who do that. But rogue ones? No. Yeah. Alright, you want to get up there, or well, I trust someone like you would have some ways to get up there, unlike us, using the ladders and all that. And he just climbs up to the ladder, and yeah, what would you guys like to do?
Sentinel just looks at Ravani, just waiting for an order.
Well, if assuming the familiar is up there, I might try to climb up there first to at least see if I can try communicating with it.
All right. So what do you use to try to communicate it with? Do you have speak with animal, or do you use message, or what exactly do you do?
Oh, actually, I'll actually call out for my own little companion, Bright Eyes, and I'll sort of ask her like, hey, little guy, if you think maybe you might be able to talk to this familiar fellow?
Bright Eyes. Let's see. Bright Eyes. Let's see Bright Eyes stats. Bright Eyes. Okay. Bright Eyes kind of looks at you, and then just do a shake of head, just like that. And you get it from the bond you have with it, that Bright Eye just basically says, "No can do."
Okay, different strategy then. Well, speak with animals and message are two spells I do not actually have, so that's out as well. Oh, what if we try to make some sort of lure that could draw the familiar to us?
Well, the sailor's not there. It's you guys. You are talking to yourself, or are you talking to Sentinel?
Oh,
He
okay.
nods.
Yeah. Sentinel nods. Yes.
Yeah, he nods. Sounds like a great idea.
All right.
You,
So
you,
what do you
you
plan
really
on?
don't talk much, do you?
Yeah.
He just shrugs and
Hmm.
then just like shakes his head side to side. It's like not not that much.
Hmm. Hmm. Damn. Well.
Hmm.
I'm. Well, 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 if a familiar would be able. Well, if it's a familiar, it would be able to understand like the language of its of its master, and
True.
that's usually the case, right?
True.
So by that logic, I assume I assume that speak with something like speak with these wouldn't necessarily be required.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm gonna try and sort of use the ladders to climb up on my own to get a better look.
Okay.
Yeah, wait, as Ravani tries to go up the ladders and then Sentinel looks up. Oh, then puts two and two together. Uh Sentinel gets his
Spread his
wings out,
wings.
spreads his wings, and then picks up Ravani, puts like Ravani on his like left shoulder or something like that, and then flies upward, and then levels with the familiar.
Ooh.
Okay, that works too. I forgot you could do that.
All right.
Yeah, he just
So
nods, yeah.
yeah, Rainy grabs on to Sentinel tightly, and eventually you guys level with the familiar. To your surprise, it is shifting shapes currently from a hawk to a pigeon, and as it looks to you guys, it kind of flap its wings like hysterically. Just do the intense flapping, and you can see he got something inside his mouth. It's a scroll of sort. When it sees you, it not only flap hysterically, it flies towards you guys like a cannonball straight towards you guys.
Okay.
Whoa. Can I sort of try and sort of talk to it to try and calm it down a little bit, or
Yeah,
Am
you
I
can
actually
try. You can try.
am I actually
Uh,
gonna get hit?
Uh,
uh
by the velocity of it, yeah, it's like having this like sort of aim towards you guys. If it don't stop, it'll probably hit both of you. But it's like
Oh,
really
I kinda
hilarious
learn-
because it's a pigeon
Oh.
just trying to.
It's a
Dive bomb.
pitch.
I'll sort of hold out my hands to like sort of, and I sort of like also try and talk to like, well, hey there, hey there, little guy, please, please calm down. No one's gonna hurt you. I just want to talk for a sec.
The pigeon. Let's see. Yeah, the pigeon looks at you and eventually just slows down and landed near. Well, kind of landed on Sentinel's shoulder. Sorry. Just calming down as you were talking.
Okay, good start. Hey, so listen there. Uh, so listen there, Mr. Familiar. We listen. Uh, you're your former master, Gus. Uh, he actually sent the two of us to.
As you say, Gus, the pigeon just rapidly shook his head and then nodded his
Oh.
head.
Oh,
Like, did he kick his head side to side or up and down?
Yes, first side to side, like this, and then nods.
Oh,
Alright.
listen. Can you tell us why you left him? Because we.
The pigeon just kind of flies and up from Sentinel's shoulder, and then like circles one circle around you, and then flies down.
Sentinel like just tries to follow, like not that fast, so that
Yeah.
Ravaney doesn't fall off.
Yeah.
Like just like
the pigeon
like
is not
just-
flying super
yeah,
fast.
like
As
just
you, yeah,
reversing. Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah. So you fly down at the same pace with the pigeon, and then the pigeon kind of took you guys beyond the ship, and during the fly, it kind of shifts itself, stretching its wings. It becomes a falcon, and then flies a little bit further and faster. Eventually, you guys kind of soar through the sorry, not the dark side, the dark side. Yes, yes,
dark
you're gonna
side.
soar through the dark side, and eventually you landed in one of the cargo ship, where one of the airship that's about to ship some kind of livestock onto the as a cargo, and you see like there are several crates. Most of them are livestock like sheeps, goats, and just pigs and stuff like that. And one of them there is a kind of like a sheep that is really unique in shape and size. It's a fluffy, silvery kind of sheep. Sorry, kind of sheep with a fluffy white silvery coat and a black face, as well as curled horns. And the horns are extremely large for a sheep. Uh, the sheep was like kind of laying there, just if an animal can show emotion of not caring anything in life, this would be it. The sheep looks like there's nothing left for it to care anymore in this world. It just lays there like dead, just like waiting for death. And then the pigeon, well, now the falcon, just kind of hysterically flap its wings and like landed on the cages and slam onto the cage just repeatedly. Try to get the sheep's attention. The sheep eventually kind of looks up, and then, as if life is jolted back into the sheep, it just leaps up and looks around, and then sees you, Sentinel, as well as Rainy, just like kind of like bah, bah, just kind of continuously try to yell at you guys for now.
Where exactly are we?
You
Like,
guys
we
are
in a
near
farm?
are at the far end of the
Of the-
dock side.
Oh,
Of the
okay,
dock
yeah.
side. And you
So-
are near the airship, and this is on the docks. The iron
Yeah.
cages that are still on the docks waiting for transport.
Oh, all right. All right. The sheep. The sheep does seem very
Ah!
peculiar,
Ah!
but I, uh, Mr. Familiar, I'm not really sure I'm not really sure what this has to do with you running away from your master.
Familiar kind of knocks on the cages as you say the sentence. He just repeatedly knocks his wing on the cages, and then the sheep kind of looks up and rolled its eyes like a human, and then just use its horn to poke onto the now falcon. The falcon just kind of got knocked, and then as if it kind of realized something, it kind of like extend its beak forward with the scroll still on its beak.
Does this scroll have this scroll has something to do with it, doesn't it?
Bah! bah, bah. Yeah, the beak kind of extended forward, and the falcon just puts the scroll onto your palm.
Okay. Okay, all right. I get you. I get you. Thank you. I'll sort of like gently pat the familiar on the head
Mm-hmm. All right.
before I try and open the scroll.
As you open up the scroll, the scroll, you can feel it in your palm. It is magical. It is imbued with strong sense of magic. As you roll it open, kind of a flash just appears right in front of your eyes, and the scroll burns on its own. Yeah, and then disappears.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah. Ah! And as you kind of like yells, "Oh God!" and then you heard the word, "Thank God!" right
Wait.
in front of you.
Wait, whoa, what? Wait, who?
Down
Who said-
here.
Oh,
And
okay. So now the sheep is talking words.
you look at the sheep, and the sheep just kind of knock its horns on the cages and says, "Get me out!"
This time Sentinel's just pointing to the cage, and then he just says,
Sentinel, you also knows that
Yeah.
it is saying the words.
Yeah. I speak common, man. That's how I receive orders.
No, I
Like-
mean you also understand the goat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
sorry, the sheep. The sheep. You also
Sentinel
understand the
just
sheep.
points towards the cage, looks at Ravani, and he just says, "Master," and then looks at the familiar.
familiar.
Yeah.
It's me, Gus. Get me out.
What?
Uh,
Whoa! Hold up. You're telling me you're Gus?
Get me out. I'm
Uh,
Gus. I give you the potion.
Oh, okay.
Quick.
This.
Before they come back.
Okay. Wait. Let's. Okay, just take a deep breath. And okay. Well, okay. Look, I still. Needless to say, I have a several questions, but
Just
Okay,
get
let's-
me out.
okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. So all right. So what is this sort of what are we dealing with in terms of the
the
cage here?
All right, so the cage is made out of iron bars, and it's on. There's several locks on it. Well, each cage has one lock on it. Sorry, and it's just like a normal kind of cage that seals up. These cargoes, like I said, are preparing for transport, but currently you don't see any sailors walking around to putting
Yeah.
it onto the ship.
Sentinel just smashes the lock
Yeah.
with his great sword. Yeah.
You don't even need to roll anything. The lock is relatively simple, and you kind of smash it open.
I'm sort of like just like examining the lock and all of a sudden like I see okay yeah okay sure let's okay let's go with that. I sure hope nobody heard that. I'll sort of like I'll sort of just
Look
I'll sort of try
around.
it. I'll try and like open the door like quietly so that
Quietly
Okay.
after the whole great
Yeah,
sword smashes.
after the whole cling.
Cling! Yo, if
Yeah.
Sentinel was a witty character, he would have said, Tally taught me a thing or two.
Yes, if you were.
uh,
If
Too bad he
But
wasn't.
Sentinel is stoic, so sadly not.
Yeah, sadly not.
Either way, it's still dope as hell.
Yeah. The sheep just immediately charge out and almost knocking you along the way, but it just dash out of the cage, and the familiar kind of lands onto the sheep. And you see at this moment, the sheep just turns around and said, "Quick! I know a place. Let's go."
Yeah,
Uh,
Sentinel follows, and then like with
Okay.
like picks up Rivani and then follows, and then
Yeah.
with his like free arm picks
Yeah.
up the sheep.
Yeah, it just it just
Al-
carries the
alright.
sheep underneath your armpit. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, and then I just like point to whatever, like
Yeah.
I just look at, and just tell me, just guide me where to go.
Yeah, the sheep just guide you. It's like left, right, and forward. It's kind of like, and when you fly away, you heard a voice saying, "Hey, who opened the cage and let the thief? We got a thief!"
Oh
And-
crap! I didn't
yeah.
think about that.
Yeah, and you
Tali
guys
taught me a
fly
thing or
forward.
two.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Again. All right, you guys fly on forward, and we'll resolve that later because now it's Tali's
I'm,
turn.
ju- I'm just I'm just in Sentinel's arm,
Yeah.
sort of just saying to myself, well, I guess this is what we're doing now.
All right.
Just sort
Hiding, sort of.
all right. I sort of like stumble back to my feet, sort of give me a quick, thank you, Sentinel, and I turn to the sheep, sort of start saying, okay then, let's assume for the moment that you actually are Gus.
What do you mean, actually? I am Gus.
What, when, how, why, beginning, middle, end, condense, plot, tell us. What happened?
Bah. So, I was doing experiments. Annoying guy foiled my experiments. Experiments go wrong. Polymorph me. He took the antidotes, well, the solution, and locked me in here. Bah.
So,
End of story.
okay, so you say someone interfered with your experiment. What was it you were experimenting on?
I was doing polymorph experiments, trying to polymorph inanimate objects into creatures. Yeah.
Huh.
To create
see.
this magical item in order to help polymorph instantly. However,
I see.
my rival.
I start opening my journal to start taking these notes down, as he's talking.
Yeah. However, my rival, he foiled my experiment, which is an annoying bastard, always jealous of me, so he could take all the glory and claim it's his own. Has no brain, always stealing, and he just goes rambling on and on about how this rival of his always envy of him and try to steal everything from him and all that.
I'm guessing you and this other person have some sort of history.
Armand Nook is nothing but a thief.
I'll put that down as a yes.
Yeah. Ahmad. So the name. What's this? Ahmad Nook. Oh, sorry. M-E-D? M-A-N-D. Sorry. Mund. No. This. Sorry, this. Mund. Nook.
Nook.
Yes.
Huh. And you're saying he stole the antidote on top of that?
Not just the antidote, but also the wand.
The wand? Which wand?
The magic item I'm crafting, idiot.
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't mention it was a wand before.
I was creating magic items.
Oh, look. I'm sure. Look, I'm sure I'm sure you've had a very rough day, but
Day.
I just.
It's been a week.
Geez, that. Okay, yeah, that's
Can
pretty
you guys hear
bad.
me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Alright,
can
we can
hear.
definitely hear you.
I thought my mic was muted. So
Oh, okay.
when he seems like he's getting a bit pissy now at Ravani, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, Sentinel just quickly grabs his great sword and slams it beside the sheep.
Whoa.
The sheep just leaps back and.
And I just say,
Whoa.
respect. And I then just sheathe my great sword.
Okay, let's
Control
just,
your golem. Or I'll
Okay,
dismantle it.
okay. Let's all just collect ourselves before one of us does something. Before one of us does something he might regret later, and let's try to. And now that we know what the problem is, let's try looking at a way of fixing this.
Okay. As you were saying this, a loud howling fills the air, accompanied by the sound of angry yells and occasional scream that seems to be drawing closer and closer. The claws quickly become apparent as a huge half-orc swaggers towards you, pushing his way through the crowds without the care of anybody standing in his way. In front of him appeared to be large wolves wearing iron color, while a hulking figure in a dirty brown cloak travels in his wake with footfalls loud enough to be heard over the ruckus. The half-orc sets his small eyes through the foliage. He comes and sets his small eyes onto you, strides forward with one hand resting on the hilt of a great sword. That sheep is Master Nox, and he desires to have it back.
Is I sort of try to play along.
Don't let
my
him get me! And the sheep just hides behind you.
oh my goodness! I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Mr. Halfork. You see, my friend Sentinel and I just we just found this a lovely, adorable looking black sheep, just wondering.
Silver sheep, actually. He's
Sorry,
covered with silver.
the
Yes.
silver. We just found this silver, adorable looking sheep, sort of wandering around, lost and alone, and you know, he and I were actually just wondering whose owner this was, and you know, if you would be so gracious as to point us to the direction of this Mr. Noak.
Just hand him over, and we'll be fine.
No, good sir. I must insist that we
I
bring her.
must insist as well. As he said that, he's like the chains he's holding on his hand. He just randomly shook it, and the trio of wolves that are underneath the collar just shook and tried to like leap forward as he like tightened the collars, tightened the chains of the collars. And yeah.
Okay. Actually, my familiar, I have like telepathic communication with each other. Do we?
Yes, you're familiar. Yes,
Right.
Yep.
you do.
Yep.
Okay. So I sort of want to sort of tell. Oh, all right. I can. All right. I can clearly see you're very adamant. Well, if you're, and as I'm sort of trying to placate him, I'm sort of silently communicating. I want to silently communicate to my little buddy to sort of try and like stealthily hide in the sheep's
Okay, the fur.
sheep's wool.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Bright Eyes kind of gives you confirmation in his mind, and then just like carefully hide underneath the wool of the sheep.
Like, so Gus can sort of see like Brian sort of like
Yeah, Gus
has a
definitely
finger
knows, and he just bah like that.
so like yeah he sort of goes like this to Gus and before like quietly hiding in the sheep's wool, and so while this is going on I was like well yeah, I guess if that's all then all right let's all right I'll then I don't we obviously we don't want any trouble so you know what let's here you go he's all yours
Don't give me away.
I kind of want try like sort of nudge him to try and
to let him know that it's not okay. So you nudge him. Yeah, he kind of fine, but find me fast. Yeah, and he just moves forward to the half orc. The half orc just like nods and says, "Master Nog will forever be grateful of your service. You can go on and collect bounties from him, for retrieving the goat. No, you did a wise choice." Yeah, and he just take the sheep.
After all, you do look. After all, you certainly look like someone who shouldn't be messed with, and I know better than to go needlessly looking for trouble. Isn't that right, Sentinel?
Sentinel nods.
Yeah. Alright, the half orc just puts the sheep on collar and nods towards you and even gives you a smile, but it's kind of a creepy smile, like some tall like brute try to be like friendly and it's scary. Yeah, so he kind of collars it and just grab the sheep and it's like, bah. The sheep just kind of like, bah. And that's it. And the half orc just walks into the distance. All right.
All right, you have a pleasant day now.
Yep. You too. And just goes on walking. All right.
And as soon as and the moment he and his sort of buddies
walk
sort
away.
of
Yeah.
appear out of line of sight, I sort of nudge Sentinel, sort of saying, it's okay. Don't worry. I have Bright Eyes going with him. As long as she stays with him, we should be able to track them all the way back to home.
Okay.
Sort of give him a little sort of wink.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah,
as
he
you were
nods.
saying that, the falcon of Gus Familiar kind of lands onto your shoulder. Now it's a raven now. And it turns into the shape of a raven. It's just like, ah! Yeah. Reminding you that it's also here. All right.
Don't worry, Mr. Familiar. We haven't forgotten. We're not leaving your master. We're not leaving your master in the lurch that easily.
The raven just nods and then flap its wings and onto the air. Switching back to Tolly's condition. Have you decided what this is and figured out what it is?
Pouty sit in the middle of the room,
Yeah.
and she's just like, Ash, what do you reckon?
Like I said.
No, but like grave, right? It's pointing to under a dead. It says like the first
Great.
letter of the lines, and everything says grave. Like, what is? I wish these people were more specific.
Wait. I think you're onto something. She points you to the words. Look at it again.
Which
First of
ones?
each words.
Yeah.
It says grave.
Yep.
So maybe it has something to do with this. And he kind of put his hand onto the words that are on top of it. And then just gives you, he turns around, gives you a winning smile, and then just press each of the first words. And yeah, each of the first words just sinks in. And then there is a like hidden like boxes that unleashes itself, just king, as the words that are pressed, it just unleashes himself. You see, like there is a tiny kind of a scroll case, not a scroll. It's a scroll case. It's like kind of a round shape, and there is kind of like this paperwork of the buildings, of the construction of the vault. Yeah.
Carefully pick those up and examine them.
Yeah,
That's
Ash just kind of carefully take it out and just, like put it on to the floor, and just release it, and just says, "So I think this is what they want."
Marvelous. They're never going to get it.
Yeah. Even I know this, like kind of a, not a crazy, but more like a fantasized, like constructor who was once really famous about constructing, temples as well as shrines, as well as the Sovereign Citadels. He is the one to build them all, and I think this is his stuff. And as you open up the floor blueprints, you see like in details it's specified how this constructor would like to construct. Basically, his draft on numerous constructions he had planned, but was doomed to crazy by the others, saying it's never gonna happen. Like the skyscraper of Dubai. No, just kidding.
Yeah,
like the
something I've seen
skyscraper.
like
Yeah,
that.
so advanced, and no one will understand what a skyscraper is, let alone to build something this advanced. So yeah, and this everything is detailed in numerous sheets of papers, as well as one of the kind of a blueprint manual of saying how he would plan to do this. Yeah, and
Okay, so these are valuable. And I'm like, this is like the. Please tell me it like mentions a back entrance out of here.
You look through several pages, and underneath the final pages there is a floor plans of the vault. You see like if you read like reiterate the words and kind of roll around the panels, it will like open up to a back entrance of the floor. For now you have the master of minds, to understand his riddles and all that.
Getting a feel for this guy. And where does it spit us out? Because I still need to go and get the egg, but I'd like to be able to send Ash away with these.
Yeah, it is kind of from what you can tell, the vault, because the vault was originally built way before the dwarves showed up, so it doesn't really specify where it would end, but you can roll me an intelligence check to put 2 and 2 together to see from the ground what you saw of the mansion. And,
I'm not right.
Well, luckily Ash is there to help you. He rolled an 18. So it's like, as you were having trouble putting this 2 and 2 together, Ash was like, I think it goes there. No, you are pointing at the wrong direction. Here.
Yeah.
So he puts out the floor plan and points towards the exit of the vault and just says, I think this one leads directly underneath, the first floor of the what do we call it? The entrance underneath it. When we enter the mansion, I saw this tiny corner like that's underneath the stairs. So I think this leads directly to there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am going to send you up this. I'm going to... here's the thing. I kind of feel like I want to walk through the traps and then essentially crawl my way out like, I couldn't make it anywhere.
And I think that they kind of expect us. They will be expecting us when we go out of the front entrance.
I just want to make sure that you can get out clear. If I can be distracting enough.
Well, if we go through the vault, no one would know we go, through the vault exit. They never really planned on that part, so...
That's true.
I can sneak out later on.
Okay, alright. We'll go this way.
Yeah.
I'm going to be very careful, and we do not let them touch these, okay? We burn them before they get them. We burn them.
But these are really
I want to get you out with them if I can, but I'd rather burn them than let the Unforged get them.
Okay, alright. Well, these are nothing but crazy... Oh, shit. And he flips through one of the pages, and underneath it, it reveals, like the weaponry of how to build, like, what's it called? The stone throwing, whatever. Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah,
trebuchet.
Trebuchet. Yeah, like all the stuff that are meant to be in a warfare and all that. There's even a saddle called the dragon saddle, so you can use that to ride a dragon and having some kind of ballista onto it. So those are really advanced stuff, but as you read through the notes, you can see that this constructor is really not giving a crap about all this. He's just like, these basically are like doodles he do on when he has a spare time and just fantasize stuff. And even in his note, he just specified these are as useless waste of time, and not recommending anyone who are smart enough to find the scrolls, to pursue that path. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think I know why they want it.
Yeah, we'd be careful with these.
Yeah, he just just put the scrolls back into the scroll case and just kind of locks it, kind of like close it up, and then he was like, so I think we're going to that direction.
Let's go.
I guess. Okay. So he points. You guys are back at the the round panel that has the I and I words on it, and you guys just kind of scroll it around, kind of going further to the round shape of the scroll of the panel, and just roll it, and then eventually the word just sinks in, and then you heard the voice of the the whole structure kind of and then the wall just sinks itself in underneath, and then opens up another hallway leading deeper inside.
Torch ahead. Let's have a look.
Right. As you walk through it, you see these. There is a coffin of the, long dead constructor himself. Yeah, just there's no lid on it. You can see he probably has something to keep his body from keep his corpses from fading and disintegrate. So you still see him as he was still alive. Around him are one tiny wooden boxes, one short, well-crafted staff, and there's one miniature, really delicately made miniature of the structures as well. Those are kind of mini fortress of a way, and it looks like a tower of sort. Yeah.
Oh, Tally's having a fight with herself. She's like, I want to take these, but it's very disrespectful, but I want to take these.
Yeah. Ash doesn't give a crap. He just walks forward and it's like, oh, look at these. And he just tried to lift it up. And
watch for traps, dear.
Yeah, I know. But there's none. I think he doesn't really like those stuff. I think the traps in the front are not his as well.
No, they seem added later, but I still instinct. Okay, you get bit once.
Yeah, he just grab on to the stuff, and he pulls out the wand. It's not a staff. It's a really short wand, and he's just like,
Ravania will like this, I think.
I don't know. It's
it's magic. Very beautiful.
Okay.
All right, so we'll start pocketing everything, and then Tally's gonna leave 5 gold in its place. She's like, I don't want to leave you with nothing.
When you lift up the wooden boxes and you open it, there are a few hundred gold pieces inside. Actually, roll me a 1d100.
Oh boy. Let's leave something. We're getting gold.
All right, you get 200 gold pieces inside the box.
Lovely.
Yeah.
All right, I've got that orb of defiance. That's still in my pocket.
Yes.
It's fancy and it's a little bit useless, but it's interesting enough that she's like, I want to pay you for this.
Yeah.
So she's leaving it in the money's place.
All right. You lay down the orb of defiance underneath it. The orb just kind of shines in bright colors, and yeah. You just kind of leave it. All right, mark that off on the list.
Yeah. So I feel like I put it in my inventory.
Well, do you know what the Orb of Defiance do?
Because it was a shield.
Yeah,
What I remember it being.
save you from certain death. But yeah,
Mhm.
it's not really a big deal. So
It's not huge. We never use it, and it's like.
all right, you left the orb there, and yeah, you're starting to walk out of the tomb, and through a long kind of hallway. Eventually, you see staircases leading up. As you walk up, like the top of it is just a stone panel. It just like kind of seals on top of it, and it just won't budge, like normal. And
Okay.
you see like Ash just walks forward and just gently knocks uh, the uh, the wooden panel with the wand you guys found, and then the stone panel just kind of shifts silently. Like you would imagine that the stone shifting would cause a great noise and all that, but it just shifts and opens up the hallway leading, well, a hole leading up.
Alright, let's check for people.
All right, you walk upstairs. You found yourself right now inside a kind of a storage unit. There are brooms, dusting tools. Here, like the floor panel opens up, like just enough for you guys to move up, but not so big that all the stuff will just fall into the ground. Yeah, and you guys walk up. This Ash just gently knocks the ground with the staff again, and yeah, it just seals back up.
Anything good
I
to.
think I found
pocket?
another place to stash my stuff.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Yeah. So I guess all these are, ready for a go. So what exactly are you getting for the guild?
A silver egg. About yay big. From the councilman's office.
Silver egg. I wonder what that is. Well, we can always check it out.
I'd like to get it and then get the hell out of here and never come back.
Yeah. So, follow me. And he kind of peeks out of the door.
Because I'm
For a
helping him
moment.
check.
Yeah.
We're nervous.
You can definitely check. Roll for a perception.
Oh boy, oh boy,
Yeah.
oh boy. Where is it? There it is.
Yeah, it's okay. You guys roll the same. So yeah, he looks around. He's like, I don't think there's anything, or anyone.
Alright. Stealth boy.
Yeah, stealth. All right, roll for stealth. It's been a long time since you both roll for stealth. Ooh, a 30. What?
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
Saved it for
A
this.
plus 12 is really come in handy at this point. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you kind of stealth like a ghost. Ash is not that great, but he's also doing really well to handle himself, so not knocking into structures and all that. You guys
I'm gonna
like
pocket Lexi.
shadows, yes. Walk upstairs. There are several rooms you can see. Like you think that according to the intel that's been offered by the guild, you think that on the upper right is the Ironforge's office, where he stashed the loot he so desperately wants you to find. You guys walk up. This is about noon per se. You guys have been spending some times, investigating and all that. So it's around 12 in the noon, and the whole building seems kind of empty at this point. You saw occasionally, servants cleaning up some part of the house from afar, and that's about it. So you walk up to the door. what would you like to do? Open it up?
I'm gonna listen for anyone behind it, and I'm assuming it's locked.
Yes, that's definitely so.
Mhm.
You put your ears onto it. You don't hear any sort of noise. Yeah.
And I'm like, is there a magic sheen on the door?
Yeah, roll me an Arcana check. You'll get advantage. Yeah, okay. You don't need advantage. He just looks at it from the moment, from the long time you spend with Rivani, you definitely know a thing or two about how to check for magic. And there's no magic on the door. It's just a really generic door with a lock. So
Okay. I'm hoping he was just very arrogant. Ash, do you want to pick the lock or shall I?
you can go ahead and do it. I'll be on the
Oh, you're
lookout.
gonna you're gonna laugh.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah, you just kind of show off your skills in front of Ash. You don't want this kid to,
Because I'm like silently miming which picks I'm using, and
Yeah,
I'm like I know he's pretty good, but it's
Yeah.
still like
you just toss the lock into the lock. It's trying to mimic what Viking did a long time ago. It doesn't really just unlock it, but it does, making it like relatively easy to pick. So it's up. It's open.
all right. I'm gonna lean on the handle, count us in, go.
Yeah. You push gently slide the door and opens it. The room is now empty at this point. You see like large bookshelves, but not as tall as the one you saw, in the wizard's tower, because dwarves, they can only reach so high. So yeah, it's about average size, and for a dwarf at least. For a human, it's a little bit like lower, but not in the sense of super tiny. It's just more fitting for dwarves. The chairs, the desk, and all that. So you walk around, you see on the there are several bookshelves. On one of them lies a stand, and on top of it is one silver-looking egg that resides on the stand.
Perfect. That's getting pocketed immediately.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be like, if I have 30 seconds, I want to see if there's any correspondence on his desk that...
Yeah. Ash just gives you a sign of okay, just go. Yeah. So you quickly search the desk. Roll me a 1d20 first. Well, first roll me an investigation check, and then we'll see.
Yeah, because I remember Commander Knox wanting to be like, these guys are corrupt if there's any evidence
they
against
want
them.
notes, specific details of transactions. Roll me another 1d20. And then a 1d4. Alright. You found 10 gold pieces underneath his desk. He just, as change, he probably just left them there as normal change in case he needs anything. You found several ledger. Two, in fact. You found two ledgers that are details and armory and weaponry, manufacture and sales, records and all that. And you also find this kind of like a letter from someone of an unknown title. The details of the notes kind of says about this last shipment he was supposed to deliver but never really actually sent. You can see the words is from him to the other guy, and it is probably a draft. It's not yet finished, but you can see through the lines he's really being careful about the choosing of words, as if he's speaking to someone with a higher status. And he was like, so dear sir, and I would like to address you with this unfortunate situation of the siege that caused the shipment to be delayed, but worries not, and the shipment will soon arrive on time, and you're a forever servant, and Tyrone Ironforge. And then he just kind of the letter just kind of goes on, and you can see the details of the list. There is a list of what kind of stuff he's about to deliver, and most of them are not even weaponry related. Most of them are just rare minerals, like mythol, adamantine, and all that kind of gems, like magical stuff. And
Someone's building something.
Yes, and he was like, to further assist your experiments, we have a large sum of slaves that are ready to be delivered, and for your experimental needs and all that.
Oh, I hope that lists. I was like, I turned to Ash. We are going straight to Commander Knox's office as soon as we leave here. Okay, we are sprinting.
Okay. So that's the bad news I'm about to say. And he just points out to the there is a window on the side of the hallway, and he points it out, and you see Tyrone Ironforge and two of its minions. One of them is the new guy. One of them is the old guy you never really get to kill. The other, he probably have a new lackey. So yeah, he just
Tell me there's a window behind me.
Yeah, three of them just starting to walk from the courtyard towards the house. So yeah, you still got about 1 minute to escape.
Okay. We either bail out the window or we go out the front door. Which one?
Definitely not the window. They're coming to that direction. From that direction.
Okay. Door, let's go. Let's go.
Okay. The door. Okay. So you guys walk through the hall, run
and
through
I'm
the
locking
hallway.
everything behind me, like I'm leaving it.
Yeah. Just leaving everything behind, and so roll me a perception check. Alright. And roll me a stealth check.
Man, this ain't gonna be as good. This is where I'm at one today.
Not precisely. It's okay. It's okay. It's
okay. That's not bad.
It's not that bad, but you really love a 5. You really love a 5. You roll so many 5s today.
That's my number.
Yeah. So you kind of stealth because of your haste. You're not as stealthy as before, but you have very much confident that you can sneak past through, servants that are not looking. So you run downstairs. There are several ways that leading out, but most of them are leading to the front courtyard, which you will bump into Tyrone in a matter of seconds. There are 2 back entrances you can see.
Kitchen.
Yes. One leads to the kitchen, obviously. Another leads to sort of like the the small hallway the servants will bring out trash to throw away. The one towards the kitchen, you can hear the sound of meals being cooked, and you can hear maidens are yelling, the masters are coming home, get ready, and all that. Get your stuff ready and all that. Yeah. So which direction?
The quieter one.
All right. To your left side, you run towards the entrance, the exit. That servants bring out trash. Sorry. As you run through the door, you heard the sound of what the. As you push open the door, you see one of the maiden who was carrying out the trash, just standing right behind. It's like,
I'm gonna catch it so she doesn't drop it.
Okay.
Give her 2 gold and just be like, "You've been delightful," and just keep bailing.
Ma'am, you can use the front entrance. You can use the front exit.
Nope, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. Bye.
But this is for the maid, and it leads to, with someone. You must be one of the master's guests.
I'm a little bit of mistress, and I'd like to sneak out, please.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Nice.
Roll me a persuasion check. Well, persuasion or deception. It's okay. The maiden kind of gives you a look as like,
Sorry.
I never really know. That's why he never. Okay, so the master. Okay, all right. I got you covered. And she opens up. Before you leave, the maiden just looks at you. So, he's into your kind of type.
I don't know. From what I gather, this is a bit of a branch out, but you know.
Okay. Best of luck. And
Thank you,
she
dear.
closed the door behind you. And that's where we'll stop the session today.
Wow.
Nice.
That last persuasion is... I just don't know how to put it. It's good.
Yeah, it's like, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, my master's mistress would be there for like no explicit reason. Like,
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
Why not?
Sure, why not?
Sure.
I won't judge how.
Yeah. It's
How
not
my
a
master
servant's
does his
place
thing.
to judge
Yeah,
Exactly.
their
exactly.
master. Yes.
I don't want to ask about that.
I don't
Yeah,
wanna
I don't
know
want
anything. I don't know anything. I haven't heard anything. That's it. All right. Good job, everyone. We will resolve the issue of the sheep Gus later on, and
Yeah.
we'll see what Tyrone will react when he finds out that his house been ransacked by thieves.
I wonder what's gonna
Indeed.
happen.
I wonder what's gonna happen to the maid. I wonder.
Oh.
The maid's gonna be like,
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
your
your mistress
guest.
was here.
Yeah, she was
What
there, and like,
mistress?
what mistress?
Yeah.
And then the maid's like, oh yeah, what mistress? Winks.
Yep.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
Bless
oh
that.
boy.
bless that maid. I hope
Yeah.
she doesn't
Oh.
get
It's
It's
destroyed.
like,
Yeah.
I needed a little please. That was just too nice.
That half-orc and his wolf guys did seem like they would seem like they would probably be a bit overwhelming in a fight. So,
We could have taken them.
I'll show up in a
Well.
second, so then we can kill things. It's great.
he Gus does have bright eyes with him now, so for now hopefully we'll be able to discreetly follow them.
I like it. I like
we'll
it.
have
It's
to-
a
we'll have
good
to
plan.
I'll have to see how that goes, but
Even familiar
yeah.
is still up in the air,
Uh,
and she will definitely,
Y'all ran a
Uh,
good
yeah.
play. That was like that image of Sentinel carrying both of you is still
Yeah.
hilarious in my head.
By the way,
Yeah.
Sentinel, you got a
Yeah.
sheep
So
pea
beautiful.
in your palm, so you are holding it. So.
Oh yeah, and Robin, you're muted if you're like. I
Oh.
don't know if you meant to do that.
Hold on.
yeah, you're muted again, Robin.
Uh-oh. I think his PC crashed again. Then
Oh, almost
isn't that
certainly.
what happened last time? Oh god,
No.
that sucks.
Ah, crap.
Hello. Oh.
Just really
Hello.
just the blue screen.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
It's
hello.
not. It's not crash. It's just it automatically muted itself. I don't know why. Probably because
Damn.
the cable. So my computer is being really wonky these days. So I really need to get it fixed. Yeah.
Getting there.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll see you guys
Real
next
good.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
see,
is
Yeah.
next week available for everyone? Because I just heard.
should be.
I think so. What's the
Uh,
date?
yeah. Well, as I sort of hinted at, next weekend is when I will be gone to the Otaku Fun in Montreal. So be available next weekend.
So next weekend or next weekend?
Uh,
On the
the
5th or the 12th?
no, I'm referring to the fourth.
Oh, the 4th.
fourth.
Okay. So
Yeah,
next week. You won't be able to
I won't be there on the 4th. I will most likely be there on the 11th. However,
Okay. So
Oh no! What is Sentinel gonna do? He can't order himself around.
it's time for
Hmm.
Sentinel to find his own purpose in life. We'll see about
It's like,
that.
okay, let's go back to Ravani and Sentinel.
Yeah.
And then Sentinel just stays quiet. Sorry,
Yeah.
Robin, you have to play this one yourself.
Yeah. All right.
You got-
We'll
you gotta-
see. We'll see.
you gotta stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
I
Sentinel, you
can.
really
It's
got to
just,
stand up for
yeah,
yourself.
he just takes orders. Come
Yeah.
on, guys. You know Warforged. It's like,
Well,
No, they don't necessarily take orders from anyone. It's just
but
No.
this is just
Yeah.
Sentinel.
Yes.
He's a loyal
guy.
Warforged
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a loyal guy. All right, so it's safe to count out Stefan the next week, but the week after next, you can make it, right?
yes,
Okay, cool.
yes. To my knowledge,
Okay, so yeah, we'll just see what happens next week. Yeah. If anyone else is also unavailable, then we will pause the session. But for now, if no one else says they are unavailable, we'll just continue. All right?
Okay.
All right,
All right.
cool. See you
Yep.
guys next week. Bye.
See ya.